got the hustle, the motivation, I got the grind. You ain't gotta get it right, but you gotta try. Supreme with the drip, I fly until I hit the sky. I'm going worldwide. Remember all them dark times, somehow I survived. It's been some shit a nigga used to. Ain't think that I would make it this far, but look, I pushed through. I pushed through trials and tribulation. Depressed thoughts in my head, thinking I won't make it. Saying that I'm okay, cause it's easier to say it than telling niggas how I'm really feeling.
What's going on, YouTube?
That's what it like, got crazy, but we stay strong.
Boy Heem. We're back with another video, man.
Shit we been through. Then
before we get into that, we're gonna vibe up to this.
My feelings in a song, not the double cup, but I might put them in a paper, roll it up and spark it. Niggas swear they on point, but always miss the target. I might just pop out in two places like a double joint. These niggas swear they got aim, but always miss the point of what we doing and why we do it and how we do it. My brother finna graduate, I'm trying to help him through it. Done made a name with clothes, now I'm making one with music. I'm taking this shit worldwide. I'm going worldwide, baby, trying to reach the top. Steady grinding, got some goals to hit, I can't stop. Nigga ain't been good in so long. Crowded but feel alone. Trying to get the money, trying to stack it up so long. I'm going worldwide, baby, trying to reach the top. I'm going worldwide, baby, I would never stop. It's been some shit a nigga used to. Ain't think that I would make it this far, but look, I pushed through. We pushed through out on rainy days and the cloudy storms. Pushed through all them times we was right but played the wrong. And every other thing we been through, we got about it. I don't need congratulations, I can live without it. I'm going worldwide. We going worldwide. I push through trials and tribulation. Depressed thoughts in my head, thinking I won't make it. Saying that I'm okay, cause it's easier to say it than telling niggas how I'm really feeling on the daily. I swear this life got crazy, but we stay strong and then we push through. Cause when we make it, we gon' laugh about this shit we been through.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. What's going on with y'all boys, man? Like I said, we back with another video, man. This is not a reaction video. I got some more topics I want to talk about. I think I want to drop one of these videos like once a week. That's what I'm thinking. Y'all let me know if y'all was fucking with the last one, if y'all was fucking with the topics I talked about on that. If y'all haven't watched that video, go watch that video. I'll leave that up there for y'all so y'all can go check that one out. But I think I want to drop one of these talking style videos at least once a week and just start to introduce this segment onto the channel. Honestly, you know, because I be having a lot of things that I want to talk about, a lot of things that I see and that I like to, you know, give my opinion on. And I like to get a lot of, I'm building a community, you know, so I want to, you know, get you guys feedback as well and just see what you guys are thinking and see if we agree on certain things. If we disagree, we can have a conversation about it in the comment section. My main goal is to spark conversations. I want to spark conversations and connect with people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. If y'all haven't, like I said, watched the last reaction video I posted, I would drop that for you guys in the comment section, and there will be an eye popped up with the last video, last talking style video. I think I named that one. I think we're going to call this Just Chatting. Nah, okay, boom. So, boom. So I wanna name this shit Brain Vomit. Like this segment or this, like, you feel me, Brain Vomit. Like, what y'all fuck with that? Cause like what I'm thinking is, like, I be having like a lot of shit in my head, bro. You feel me? And I just want to be one, you know, I gotta get that shit off, you feel me? And I feel like when I'm just vomiting that shit out. Like, you feel me? So Brain Vomit. Like, y'all tell me if y'all fuck with that or not. I don't know. Brain Vomit. But that's what I'm thinking. That's a name that I was thinking about. So yeah, we'll vote on it in the comment section. If y'all fuck with Brain Vomit, we're gonna go with Brain Vomit. If y'all don't, y'all give me some fucking suggestions in the fucking comment section. But yeah, man. we taking this shit worldwide. I'm hinting to that song that was playing in the in the beginning of the video, just because I've been, man, like I said, in the midst of all this shit that has been going on in my life, bro, it's like I got a newfound motivation. Like I want to like really like keep pushing. Like you know what I'm saying, like, cause it's some in me that's just not gonna let that shit. You feel me? Like it's different. Like I always had drive and purpose before. I feel like, but like now, shit just hit a little different for me. You feel me? And over the weekend, I was at camp. I was at this like counseling and therapy retreat or whatever with my brother, and it was I as black people, black men, I would say more specifically, um, we already have a preconceived notion on therapy and how therapy is and shit like that or whatever the case may be. And I went on a weekend long retreat catered towards therapy. You know what I'm saying? And catered towards grief, more specifically. You feel me? And it was cool. It really gave me a different outlook on therapy itself, because I went in there. Not I didn't go. I went in there with an open mind, but before, you know, we all have a preconceived notion on what, like, who the fuck, like, my whole thing was before I got there was, who the fuck is you, and how are you gonna help me get them, like, how you gonna help me with how I'm feeling type shit. That was my whole thought of therapy. I'm talking to somebody that don't even know me, that don't even, you know what I'm saying? And I never really gravitated towards it. I always was the person that said, I will never go to therapy. And I went to therapy. Now, I found this whole thing through my brother's school. You know what I'm saying? So we, I was really signing him up for the shit. You feel me? But it was primarily for him. But I saw that there was a guardian portion side of it that caters towards you as well. And I was like, let me sign up and see what this shit is about. You feel me? Why not? Um, we went this past weekend. I was in a group of 6 other people, something like that, 6 or 5 other people. And everybody is dealing with a loss. Everybody dealt with different types of loss and things like that. And it was a group therapy, and I didn't know it was gonna be a group therapy when I before I got there. I thought it was like one on one shit, but it was group therapy, and I mean it was cool. It really it really felt safe type shit, like to really talk to people that don't really know your whole. They don't know you. They unbiased, and they there to support. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's dealing with some type of loss, and everybody's there to support. You feel me? And then of course we had our lead therapist. His name was Chris. Shout out Chris, because he was a cool dude. Um, and then we had our lead therapist Chris, and everybody going around and giving a spill and stuff like that, and it was real. Like, it was welcoming, even though people were like, you know, hurt, of course, and going there definitely brought up you know, those emotions. They really did bring them out. I and got there Friday, and we first get there. I checked my brother in. After that, I check in, and we had went straight to the hall for dinner or whatever. Everything was catered and shit like that. We got dinner and shit like that, and then after that, we attended like some type of like orientation. And then shortly after that, we went to our first therapy group. And it was a whole, so all the adults were whole. And I was the youngest nigga there, literally the youngest. person there that was in the adults retreat. Um, and I knew this before I got there. I knew I was gonna be the youngest dude there. Like I already knew. Like you feel me? So it wasn't even. I was going in expecting that, but nobody made me feel. Even when they found out my age, because they didn't. I didn't. Let me continue to get y'all the sauce. But so yeah, we got there Friday. In our first group, it was all the adults were together, and then shortly after that, we broke out into our separate groups the next day. But all the adults were together for the first day, which was Friday, and everybody's going around the room, giving little short icebreakers and shit like that, like what's your name, what's your favorite color, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We go around the room, shit like that. Everybody giving their whole spiel and shit, and after that, now what's your name and the reason you're here, who's the person you lost, everybody going around the room and shit to get to me, and I'm goddamn like, fuck. Like, oh my God, I really gotta, I kind of like, I ain't want to say it. Like, it's still, like, I was, it was just weird. I'm like, I'm telling all y'all my business, but, I got it out there, and I was more open than I thought I would be, honestly. Um, so I said, my name's not Heem, I lost my mom. Boom. Um, then we all going around the room again and shit like that, and everybody, some people going into detail about how and all that shit. I didn't go into detail. Um, and then they get passed out shirts and all that shit. We went to sleep. Boom. Saturday come. That's what we break out in our separate groups. In our separate groups, it was like I said, like 4 or 5 other people for me, with me and shit like that. And that's where everybody went, I guess, into really giving their whole spiel. Like that's where it was like, okay, we gonna really unpack this shit. Like shit really got critical that second day. And, we ain't go straight into that. Niggas woke up, eat breakfast and shit like that. But I'm not finna give y'all the whole fucking laundry list of shit that I'm trying to get to the meat and potatoes. But in our first group and shit like that, on starting Saturday, and nigga, wait, cause we was up from like 8 to motherfucking 11 o'clock, like non-stop, like no cap. But you know, we going around and giving the spill, and everybody, like I said, everybody dealing with a different loss. So I'm not gonna get on her and disclose nobody's fucking what they was dealing with, but that just know like everybody loss was it when it was going on. I'm just like damn, like and then it wasn't the like some of the shit. It wasn't even like nah. Two of the ones really hit me type shit. I ain't even gonna cap. Like the stories type shit was just like fuck, you know. But overall the shit was cool though. Like I really enjoyed it for real, for real. Like I said, it gave me a different outlook on therapy and talking to somebody and just being in a group of all them people, and everybody's giving their whole spill on why they are here, and everybody's supportive, everybody's being encouraging of each other and shit like that. It was real cool, and for me to be the youngest dude in the room, and they not treat me like that after they figure out, because I was going in, started going to detail. I'm like, yeah, I just spent my first birthday without my mom and all that junk. Like, how old you turn? I'm like, I just turned 22. And I'm like, what, 22? And I'm like, yeah, like I always get that reaction. Like I've always gotten that reaction to my not my age, but like just in period in life, everybody always assumes I'm older than what I fucking am, or whatever the case may be. But everybody was like, I'm real mature for my age. Like, I got a good head on my shoulders, and these are people that don't know me from a can of paint. So just hearing it, was real motivating, and just real empowering to me. Because they're saying like, you're gonna do good things, you're gonna make a mother proud and stuff like that. And this I already know, but coming from people that, like I said, didn't know you existed before this weekend it was real powerful, and everybody created those bonds and things like that, which was real cool. So I had fuck with my group, man. My group was real cool, man. But that was how that weekend went for me, and that was it was real cool, bro. I really fuck with it, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And yeah, it like I said, it brought out those emotions and stuff. It really made you feel, but it was good. You know, you don't want to have no microwave healing process. You really want to dive deep and just really feel each emotion, and that's what I've been learning with grief, because grief is a lifelong process for me. You know, and the only thing that really keep me going is like, how good can it get from here? Because it can't get no worse. You feel me? Like I done, the worst that's happened to me, and you can't convince me it hasn't. So I gotta be optimistic and feel like, how good can it get from here? So that's my whole mindset. You know what I'm saying, with this whole thing I'm dealing with, man. No cap. But next topic I want to get into is, being okay with being the example. And I'm saying that pertaining to me. I was talking to my homeboy, shout out Jose. Um, and I was talking to him, I was just like, at some point, somebody has to be okay with being the example type shit. And just my personality and like how I am as a person, like I am willing to speak out on things that other people aren't. You feel me? In any type of space. But, in this particular space we were talking about was the workplace type shit. And just how, jobs, they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And they you got somebody got to be able to call jobs out on their bullshit. And I'm not talking about, being disrespectful with it or nothing like that, but I'm talking about as saying, like, as far as sticking up for yourself and shit like that, and being okay with whatever consequences come behind with it. And I want to necessarily say it's speaking up for yourself, but calling niggas out where it's right or wrong type shit, like, on what jobs do, and just how they operate. And I don't like how, companies will, they don't communicate. There's no communication within the workplace. There's a lack of, you know, management, being fucking, what is it? Sympathetic, for lack of better terms. And I don't, like I said, I'm okay with, saying something and take a stand, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And shit, even in like like okay, we finna pivot from the work shit, because this could, I don't want to get too deep. You feel me? But even if in taking, like, with this whole process I've been going through with on the legal side of things, with, pertaining to my mom and stuff like that, it is crazy how you can work your whole life basically, and you God forbid you pass early retirement age, you don't get to retire, and that what you're paying in Social Security is basically vanished. I'm not gonna get it too deep into things, but basically it's vanished, and the most they'll give you is, pennies to the dollar, as far as, the government, IRS or whoever the fuck you want to call it. And when I'm saying that, I'm going in to say, as far as now, we're going into taxes, motherfucker. You take out of my paycheck however much every time I get paid for Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the whole nine. Half the shit that we fucking paying for, we can't even benefit off of. I'm paying for fucking I don't even have that shit. And then nigga can't even get food stamps. But we paying to fund everybody for y'all to pass out this money to everybody else, but the people that's, you know what I'm saying? But niggas gotta pay tax, and if you don't, you're penalized. Then we go and we go into fucking health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, you're penalized when you file your taxes. If you don't have health insurance, you're penalized when you file your taxes. But for some people, that's $200 every fucking time you get paid just for health insurance. Don't take in factor if somebody got a 401k. They got, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to forget to invest in your damn self when it's like, damn, I actually need, I can't afford for no extra money to be leaving my shit. You feel me? But the fact that you can't even benefit from the things that you are paying for out of your check, it's not no option. You can't opt in and opt out of that shit. That is just something that you have to deal with, and I find it so fucked up that you can't even, if God forbid you pass, like I say, your children can't even, get what you worked your whole life for. So when it comes to taxes, and people ask me about paying taxes, I could give a fuck about taxes, and I'm okay with that. You can lock me up. I'll be the example. I'll be the person to get in the courtroom and call you out on your bullshit. Because I feel like the way this whole world is set up, and like I said, I was talking to my homeboy and shit, but from a young age, I used to always say, "Mom, that ain't fair," just pertaining to anything. And she'll always tell me, "Son, life ain't fair." And yeah, it may sound fucking cliche, but you really never understand what that means until you get older for real. And I was the person like, why can't shit be fair? Like, why the fuck? Why not? You know? Because it can. It can. They choose not to make it that way. It'll be too easy for them. But I don't believe that one should have to suffer for the benefit of others. You know? Like, because then you're taking a group of people and you're taking from them. And, the rich don't care about, oh, okay, they took how much? Okay, that's cool. That's fine. When you are basically a paycheck away from being homeless type shit, and I'm not saying like I'm a paycheck from being home. I'm talking in terms type shit. Like niggas who are working 9 to 5, stuck in a cycle. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's working, you know. You look at that shit. You look at every fucking dollar that's coming out of your shit. And the fact that, like, okay, cool, I'll be cool if I'm paying for it and I'm actually getting Medicaid or Medicare for whatever. But you tell me I make too much money. How the fuck that work? You think I make too much money that you can't give me? You feel me? Like, but I'm paying for it. And I understand that, like, just because how I feel, it takes more than one person. But I'm willing to put it on the fucking forefront. You know? I'm willing to be like, yeah, I would not do this because, yeah, it's not right. And I won't subscribe to it. I'm willing to call a job out on their bullshit when they're not treating their employees right and being okay with getting fired. They got to stand for something, bro. And at a certain point in this game that it is called life, you do have to play the game. You have to play the game. You can't not play the game type shit. You got to play the game. You got to. So there's going to be times where you got to, probably bite your tongue, but you pick and choose your battles. And, sometimes when it's enough, it's enough. And you're going to say something. But I don't ever want to have or ever let a job or whatever feel like it has so much control over me where I feel like I can't not go with how I'm actually feeling. I can't say that. I can't risk getting fired because if I do, I can't pay my. But I don't like how they treat him. No, I'm not that type. I'll figure it out. But what I won't do is sit here and take that. I'm okay with being the example. I'm okay with calling somebody out on their bullshit. I'm okay with that. Somebody got to be okay with doing it. And I just feel like this is the, each generation gets better. And, going back to, slavery and shit like that, they were the example. Harriet Tubman was okay with being the example. If it got to that point, she risked, and that and being and Martin Luther King, all of them motherfuckers, was okay with being the example, and they was okay with doing it and not being able to reap the benefits right then and there. Doing something for someone that you may not know down the line, doing something that you may not be able to benefit from, but it's for the greater good, is worth doing, bro. I'm okay if I'm not able to benefit from, United States is tax free, or whatever the case, man. I'm just using tax because I was talking about taxes, but I'm okay. Like I said, I'm okay with being fired. Let's take it more, down to home. I'm okay with being fired because I said something about how you're treating your employees type shit. I'm okay with it. I'll take that every single day. Because what I won't do is let a job feel like they have so much control over me that I can't even say shit for myself. And I don't think nobody should ever fucking get to that point. At fucking all. But be off of that one. Be off of that one, man. But I want y'all, whoever's watching this video, and this video find you, I want you to have identity. Know who you are. Know who you are. Know what you want to do. Live for you and not the opinion of others. And you've heard it before. But I want you to have identity. I know who Heem is. Just like I told you, I'm okay with being the example. Everybody's not okay with that. I know who Heem is. You got to know who you are. I remember, I was living with my mom and stuff like that, and I was like, I was telling her like, man, I don't think I'm gonna go to college, bro. I'm good. And I was very stern on that, and my mom was like, no, you're going to college. You're going to college. I'm like, Mom, I'm not though. I don't want to go to college. That's not what I want to do. At that time, I didn't, I know who I am and I know what direction I want to go and shit. I wasn't thinking of it like that, but I always thought for myself. And a lot of people don't think for themselves. A lot of people don't go to college for them. A lot of people go to college for their parents because that's what their parents want them to do. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I knew in my heart, if I went to college, I would only be doing it because my mom wanted me to go. Not because that's necessarily what I wanted to do. I'm just using this as an example. I'm just using this as an example. But having identity is really important because once you have identity, you get to establish the route you want to take, and you're okay with whoever not being okay with the route you took. And I'm not fucking telling nobody to go down the wrong path and start selling drugs and nothing like that. I'm not doing that. I'm just telling you, have identity in what you're doing and know who you're doing it for. If you're not doing it for yourself, we should sit back and assess this. Is this really what you want to do? Is this really what you want to do? Or are you letting somebody's opinion on you or what they say influence your decision? One thing about me, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm okay with saying no. Also, people, no's a complete sentence. You don't have to explain yourself to nobody. No is a complete sentence. If you choose to explain yourself further from there, so be it. But I want you to know that no is a complete sentence. You don't have to. It don't have to go further than no. I said no. I said no. And no is no. With anything. You know? Have identity though. Know what you want to do. Know that you're living your life for you. You know? Go after what you want to go after. Because at the end of the day, you are the source of your happiness. And this wasn't even on my topic list, but like I said, you are the source of your happiness. Nobody else can make you happy. Your happiness comes from within. You know? Like, honestly. Don't rely on other people for your happiness. You can't. Don't do that to anybody, you know? These are just things that I've been learning over the years as I got older. I'm 22. I still got a hell of my life to live. But I feel like I'm wise beyond my years, man. You know? I want y'all to have identity, bro. And I'm going to hop off of that topic because we're getting to the closing minutes of our, brain vomit segment. I like brain vomit, bro. I goddamn like brain vomit, bro. I ain't even gonna cap. I like brain vomit. We might have to go brain vomit, man. But I want you to also know, along with having identity, I want you to know that success is a mindset. Success is a mindset. You got to have a whole 180. I don't want to say 360. You should never say 360 because at 360 you end up back in the same place. You got to do a whole 180. You got to change what you're currently doing. Change for what you say you want or change what you say you won't. You got to have a whole mindset change in order to become successful. Because with success comes sacrifice. And I'm nowhere near successful yet. But I'm on the curve of that 180. I'm right there. I'm on the curve of that 180. Success is a mindset, man. Change for what you say you want. Or change what you say you won't. And know that you're stronger than what you is, man. I want y'all to keep going, man. I want y'all to keep going. Don't stop. And it's so funny how I could, you know, find the breath to tell somebody keep going, and I'm in my current situation, but shit, bro, I like to say I'm the living proof of this shit. You can keep going despite the adversity you may face. You can keep going no matter how hard to get and get. Cause shit hard right now, bro. I got a lot of weight, you know? But you can keep going though. And that's the whole premise of all this shit. No matter how hard the shit get, a nigga gon' keep going. Cause I done made it up out of the hardest. And I want y'all to have that same mindset. I want y'all to look at me and be like, damn. Cause I know you probably think, how the fuck is this nigga? I'll probably be, I know. Trust me, I wake up every day and be like, bro, how am I doing this shit? How am I doing this shit? I wake up every day. Like, how am I finding the power to wake up, go to work, along with dealing with my own problems I gotta deal with, the stresses at work, the stresses of life, period. But I'm keeping going though. I'm still going. Like, I was down for a good minute. I'm back, and I'm keep going. You gotta keep going. Like I said in the beginning of the video, bro, wherever you feel like you at in life, if you feel like this is the lowest you done been, ask God how good can it get from here. If you feel like you have been at the lowest you have been, ask him how good can it get from here. Cause I thought I was low before. You know. But you feel me? Thought I was, it don't get no worse. I'm talking about my situation. You take that quote and apply it to yours. Ask God how good can it get from here. If you feel like this is the lowest you've been in whatever situation you're in right now, I don't know who this video gonna find. Ask God how good can it get from here. You know? And I want you to continue to be optimistic. Continue to strive for the things you want in life. And know that you can have them things. They're very attainable. Keep your morals in place though. Don't ever, ever sell your integrity, man. Stick to your morals, stick to your guns. Stand up for something. Stand up for something. Have identity. Know who you are. And once you have those things, I don't feel like there's nothing that can stop you, man. I want y'all to keep going, though. This has been your boy, Heem. And I'll see y'all in the next video.